My name is Qais and I am a professional musician and rabab player specifically. Well, besides the rabab, I play the guitar and I play various other Eastern classical instrumentation, but mainly the rabab. I started studying music at the age of 6 or 7, and I was introduced to the rabab shortly afterwards, about age of 12. It was my dad that kind of introduced me more to Eastern music, and so, kind of illuminated the path for me to follow on my own. I would describe the music that I make as an amalgamation of Eastern and Western classical music. I'm influenced by a lot of different kinds of music, namely, firstly, Indian classical music and Eastern classical music. Also, the minimalism movement of the late 20th century, so guys like Stephen Reich. And then more contemporary artists. I'm a big fan of Godspeed, big fan of Led Zeppelin. It's like psychedelic music. For the first part of my career, it was mostly Afghan classical, Eastern classical music, so it would have been just me and another person, namely a percussionist. But with the more contemporary music that I'm writing and the album that's to be released pretty soon, I've put together a band to perform this music live. There is a core to the band, and then given the venue and given where we are, then we could add or subtract people from that mix. Writing process is interesting. I always have a seed that I try to develop like a framework and a structure. And then when I approach the musicians that I work with, it's often as a collaboration. So I give them a very general, broad framework of what is going on in my mind, and then I trust their abilities to where then they come up with something to add to what I have already composed. Yeah, my core group started in Phoenix. So it's comprised of what I would like to think is the best musicians here in Phoenix, the best local musicians from some of the best local bands that I respect and follow. There is a wide variety of really talented musicians in Phoenix, more so than anywhere else that I've seen, and I've traveled the world a lot. I feel that a lot of people aren't aware of this and kind of focus on specific hubs in the country like LA and New York or San Francisco or Austin or etc. to find these really great musicians, but there is a very large number of really cool stuff and really cool people here in Phoenix. Well, I feel it's just something that's been kind of pushed on us, in the media or just culturally. We just look towards, we look towards the Golden Coast for entertainment, or you look towards like New York for stuff that's coming out. So I feel that that's what has led for more areas like Phoenix to just kind of be ignored as far as a place for great talent. I've seen stuff here in Phoenix that I have not seen elsewhere. A lot of people are more willing to work with each other here versus elsewhere, I believe. The lack of an industry in Phoenix makes it so that the musicians that are doing it, I think, are doing it with the right intention. And that's just to put out really great art. Kind of seems that Phoenix is a place for a lot of musicians that don't really fit in anywhere else. And so that we're in this pool together, and that's why we're able to kind of come together. Yeah, there's just no interest from these big corporate type. And so that's why there's no real big record labels here. It's mostly just like project boutique labels. The music video, it's something that I collaborated with a Mexican filmmaker who hasn't been in this country for too long, Essar. And so when you look at the video, it was also a product of Arizona. We shot up in Payson. So it was really cool. It's this person that I had met that was able to, I think very well, kind of translate what's going on in my head into a visual medium. So super excited about that. The new album, it's called Tavern of Ruin, and it's conceptual by design, and it's mostly my previous record, The Green Language. It was recorded remotely all over the world. So I had, if not by myself, personally, different studios. You had a studio in India or in New York or in Vancouver. But the cool thing about this album is that it's also a product of Arizona, and it features prominently the best musicians what I would consider the best musicians in the local scene.